Welcome back to another lesson of our Excel tutorial videos. Today I'll be focusing on the File tab, and we've been able to go through the home, we've done insert, we've also gone through page layout, we've also gone through review, we've done view. So left with formulas in data. So I'll leave the formulas for last because we have a lot of formulas we need to discuss under this particular tab. So let me just finish with the File tab, then we'll proceed to look at data, then we conclude with formulas, and the rest will be the preparation towards getting you certified, where you get a certificate from Microsoft. That is if you want to take the exam. It's not difficult if you really take your time to go through all that I've been teaching and be doing all the practice exercises I make available in the classroom. Okay, so let's get down to business. So when you click on the File tab, it takes you to this particular interface we normally term as the backstage of the application. It's very simple to use. So once you come to the File tab, we have the Home section, which basically greets you good evening depending on the time of the day you are using the application. So that's one feature in Office 2016 and 2019, but we don't have this in 2013. So over here are just some sample templates, and I explained in the introductory lesson that templates are more or less predefined workbooks, which you just adapt, edit it, and you make it your own. So if you don't want to start from scratch, you can make use of these templates. So for you to view more templates, you need to have access to the internet. So let me just connect to my TableNet. Then we'll see how to search for a template when it comes to the File tab, and you need it for a particular purpose. So you go to a workplace and your boss tells you, I'll need you to prepare an expense report or an expenses report. And this will definitely not be taught in school. So what you need to do is just come, click on more template, or if it's here, you just click on it. Automatically the system will download this template. Once you click on create, it's downloaded into your system, and all that you need to do is just click within their respective field. Company name, you put the company's name there. Purpose, you click in it, you type. Statement number, you type. Period, from what to what. So it saves you the trouble of creating this whole sheet from the scratch. So it saves a lot of time. So that is one way of using templates. So let's go back to the File tab. Then we also have recent. So all the recently used workbooks will be outlined here. So 10 minutes ago, 9 hours ago. So it will give you the time and when it was used. So if you want more workbooks, you click, it opens another interface. So I want you to explore those options after you finish watching this particular tutorial. Then we have what pinned. So there are certain workbooks I work on frequently, so I don't want it to disappear. So once you pin them, it will always be available for you to use. So I need not to navigate to my Drive D folder, go to Fix, go to Workbooks before I get my operations worksheet. So if I come to maybe Drive D, look at the time it's taking. Then I look for this PC. So once this PC opens, I have to go and look for Drive D. And this is taking a lot of time. Then I'll need to go and look for Fit folder. Then I'll come to Account. Then where is it? It's not even here. So I'll need to go to Workbooks. So Workbooks, then I'll come and find my operations worksheet. And this took more than 2 minutes. So if you've pinned these items, it saves you the time of searching on your system for this particular workbook to work on. Okay, so I'll come to recent. So basically that's what the home offers. Then we have what new. So the new section would definitely take you to if you want to create a new blank workbook or a template which are covered. So whatever template you're looking for and you can't really get a hold of it at this particular section, you can type. So I'm looking for a template for a calendar. I want to create a calendar. Then I search. You hit enter, the system will just go online look for sample calendars, then you just pick one of them and use it. You need not to create it from the scratch. You have to be smart about it. So it's not everything that you create from scratch. We want efficiency, we want productivity. So if you want this particular template, this looks nice, you click on it, just same as usual what I did. Then you click on what create. It's downloaded and it's created for you. So phases of the moon 20 whatever, boom, just like that. So it's as simple as that. Please, I will need you to explore these other options. It's taking too much time and I don't want to waste much time on that. But as you practice, connect to the internet and see how best you can work with some of these templates. Oh, this is slowing me down, but I guess I have to wait and see what happens. Okay. So we just have to wait. So whilst we wait, please, if you have issues with the lessons that I've recorded prior to this, you just need to let me know. Then we connect on Zoom and I'll help you understand it. So this is as simple as that. So if I'm to create this, I will take a lot of time. You see, all the formatting and writing formulas. No, that's a whole lot of work. That we'll get into that. Okay. So that's how beneficial templates are. So once it's downloaded, you see it comes on under the home section. Okay. So let's continue. So that's that for the new, where you get template, then you get to create a blank workbook. Then we also have open. So this open talks about where you can find your workbook. So we have recently used workbooks, which is here. Then recent folders you've been to is also listed there. So we have today, all these folders I've been through it. Yesterday I was in this folder, last week I was in that folder. So as you go through older, then all these are folders I've been to. So if you come to my system and you are not supposed to go to a particular folder, you go in there and you think you can lie about it, the system is tracking you. Good. Then we come to this PC. So this PC, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to my documents? Do you want to go to already existing folders on your system? So if that's not the case, you can click on document, then it opens a dialog box and you can navigate within your document folder and look for whatever workbook you want to work with. Then you can actually browse. It opens that same dialog box. So if you have a pen drive inserted and you want the workbook from that pen drive to open, the pen drive will be listed here. If it is on your desktop, you go to your desktop, you look for the workbook, you open and you work with it. So irrespective of wherever your workbook is, you can actually browse and go get it. If you don't know, if you don't have it listed on your recently used workbooks, you have to browse and go get it. So that is that for the open. And as you explore these options, you come across practice exercises, which will lead you to come to the file tab, which takes you to the backstage of the application. Then we also have info. So the info basically talks about your worksheet, the date it was created, the date it was last modified. So I started creating or working on, okay, this is actually a template which we downloaded. That is Phase of the Moon calendar. It was created in 2019, which was December 4th. No, this is, okay, 12, 18. Okay, so this is June, February, March, April 12, 2019. That is when this particular template was created. So related people, so that is my username. Last modified by, I've not even modified or make changes to it. The size is not saved yet. You can add a title. So all these are properties. And within the Microsoft exam, you are required to come and make changes to some of these properties. So you need to understand that you need to navigate to info, then you come and do justice to that. So if whatever is being asked of you is not listed here, you need to click on show all properties. Then it all comes up. Okay, company we are dealing with, what are the key points? So once you add these specific properties or categories, it helps with the indexing so that when you are searching for the workbook with such specific keywords or tags, you easily get to it in no time. Then we also have protect workbook. So if you want to encrypt with a password protect the current worksheet, which I talked about under the review tab. You can also protect workbook structure. So all of these were found under the review tab. Then you can also restrict access. That is when you connect to right management service and get to a template. Then you can also add a digital signature. Then you can also mark as final so that anybody receiving the workbook will know that, okay, this is the final work and we don't need to make changes. So if it's about encrypting with password, once you encrypt with password, whenever you open this particular workbook, it will request for the password. So if I click on encrypt with password, okay, what is the password? I'll just type ASDF. Okay, ASDF. Okay, so it's been encrypted with password. So anytime I open this workbook, it will request for the password before I will be able to see the content of it. I'll go back and I'll click on it to unencrypt or decrypt. Yeah, decrypt is the appropriate word. So encrypt, enter the contents. Okay, I don't want to encrypt. I'll delete a password. Then it's gone. Good. Then we can also check for issues where you inspect the workbook. So when you are presenting this particular workbook for maybe on the internet, you need to inspect the document and make sure that certain hidden properties or personal information are not attached to this particular workbook you're working on. So I'll definitely give you access to practice test materials, which will take you through these individual tasks. And you also need to check for accessibility and check for compatibility. So as you watch this video, I will need you to click. Once you click, it comes, then you go through the processes to see what is there, but I will need to save it first. Okay, so let me just save it before I can. Okay, so let's see, it's saving. Good. So once you are inspecting the document for all of these issues. So after inspecting, the system will come up with what it thinks are problems that needs to be solved. So this will take a while. So let's just give it some few minutes. Good. So it has identified that there are certain document properties that contains your personal information and we don't really need to publish that. Then we have macros, forms, ActiveX control. We don't need that. So if you don't need that, you just click on remove all. Then hidden worksheet. Number of hidden worksheets found is what? 14. So there are certain worksheets in here which are hidden. So do you want to remove it? So you close it. Let's check. All right, click. Okay. And I don't see any hidden, or because of the VBA that they have in there. So that's perfectly fine. So they use some codes to get this particular calendar. So basically that is how you inspect your workbook. Then you can also manage your workbook where you can recover unsaved workbooks. So once you click, it takes you to the folder. Okay, all of these are automatically saved by the system. So if you want to recover, you click, then you come back to the previously saved file. I'll go back to file. I'll come to info again. Then we have browser view options. So pick what users can see when this workbook is viewed on the web. So once you click on that, you want viewers to see all the entire workbook, or you want sheets, or you want items in the workbook. So I want users to only see January. That's it. When I publish on the internet, that is what I want users to see. So I'll need you to explore these options and just practice with it and see how best they work out for you. Then I'm sure by now you all know how to save documents, right? Okay. Put your documents, okay, blah, blah, blah. Let me cancel it. Okay, I don't want these macros disturbing me. Control N to create a new document. So if you want to save, you click on save. Then you go through that same process of opening. So you need to browse to the location where you think you want to save this particular workbook. So you can browse this PC. So if you have any recent folder you think you want to save the workbook into, you can do that. If none of the folders you are looking at saving into is not here, then you just click on browse, you go ahead, then you save. So let me talk about the differences between save and save as. So whenever you are saving a document for the first time, you can use save or you can use save as. But as you continuously work on the document. Any updates you make, you don't use save as, you use save just to update the changes that you've made to the document. But you come back to use save as when you want to change the file name. So note the difference. So that is that. Then we have what history. I currently don't have any history for this particular workbook, so you won't see it. But if you happen to work, I'll need you to explore that particular option. Then we have another feature, which is what? Print. So if you want to print, okay, we didn't find anything because I don't have any content. So when printing, the number of copies, you can set the number of copies you want to print. So let me go pick a particular workbook which actually has some content. Okay, so I come to print. There should be some content for me to print here. So I have something like this. Okay, so we have this to print. So we can print using my default printer. So whatever your default printer is, you just select it, the number of copies you selected. So if you're printing page 1 to 5 and leaving out 6 to about 20, you just have to demarcate that. Then we also have print on both sides. Print on both sides. So if it is portrait, you flip on what? Long edge, so that it can print on both sides. But if whatever document you are working on is landscape, you should select print flip on short edge. That is if it is a landscape, so that you won't have that confusion where you print. Then you have, let's say, if they're starting with the document start with chapter 1. Chapter 1 will print nicely. Then at the back of the page, it will be turned upside down. So if it is a landscape, you flip on short edge. If it is a portrait, you flip on long edge. So take note of that. Then we also have correlated. So whenever we talk about correlated, that is the system should print, if you're printing about 10 pages of a particular worksheet, and you select the correlated, the system will just print 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in that order. So it will print 1 to 10, arrange it nicely for you. Then pick the second set, 1 to 10, arrange it nicely for you. So if you pick uncorrelated, it will just print them page 1, 10 times if you are printing 10 copies of it. Then it will move to page 2 10 times. So when you select this option, you have to rearrange them, sort them out, and make sure page 1 comes before page 2. So it's advisable you always go for correlated. Let the system print 1 to 10, it will arrange it. That's one copy. It will print another 1 to 10, arrange it, another copy. Then if your printer supports staples, then you just click on it, staple to left, staple bottom left, and all of that. But my printer does not have staples currently. This was GHS printer which supported the stapling, so the system will print and do the stapling for you. So we've been through the portrait and landscape orientation. Then we've also been through the paper size, the margins, which we talked about under page layout. Then we have the scaling and all of that. If you click on page setup, it takes you to the page setup we saw under the page layout tab. So that is basically it for the printing. Then we can also talk about sharing. So you can share via email, or you can share with people if they happen to have a Microsoft account, or you can save to cloud, which is your OneDrive. Then we can also talk about exporting or creating it as a PDF. So once you click on export or publish, you can still do the same. So export will create a PDF. You can create a PDF version of this particular file, say Excel call. Then you just direct it to the location. I want the file opened after publishing. So we have a standard publishing. Then we also have options. So within a publishing, you can decide to publish a selection or publish all. So what I'll do is an active sheet. Let me cancel it so that I'll select a selection. So I only want to publish this particular aspect. I only want to publish this particular aspect. So I'll go to File. I'll come to Export. Then I'll come to Create PDF. So you need to make sure you come to the Options button. Then I publish Selection. Then I'll click on OK. So once I click on publish, it should automatically open after publishing with a PDF file. Then you see that it will only look at what I've selected. That's it. So that was what was published. It's as simple as that. Now you have your PDF file. So if you don't know how to create PDF files, it's the same principle with Microsoft Word. Okay. Then we go to the publish aspect, which is the Power BI tool, a very powerful tool. I've not really explored. I'm now learning. So if I get a full grasp of it, I will organize another class and teach it to you. But you can go ahead to save it to your document OneDrive for business. Then we also have this particular close button. So there's a difference between this close function here and the close, which is in the top right corner. So when you close this, it means that you are exiting the entire application. But if I close this, I'm only closing the current workbook or worksheet. So that is the difference. Once I click on close, you see it is closed. If I click on close for this as well, this is also closed. I come to file, I click on close, I'll say don't save. I'm closing it from this particular angle so that you see the difference. So I've closed the worksheet, but the Excel application is still active. So I can just go ahead, go to file, and create a new blank workbook. So whenever you are closing and you're not done with the application, you don't close from this particular section. You go and close from the backstage. Then we also have this particular feature, which is accounts. So the account basically talks about managing your settings and privacy. You can even change the color to dark gray. You can change the color to white. You can change it to colorful. So it depends on your preference. So if you want something like this, go for it. Then we have feedback. I like something, I don't like something, I have a suggestion. Then we have what? Options. So I'll talk about options in another video where I take my time to explain what it means to come to these various areas. And I don't want to go beyond 25 minutes. And I think I've talked extensively on this particular file tab. So I believe the practice exercises within the classroom, please make sure you work on those practice exercises. So let me open it, Excel call review. I think it's about, what's the total? Let me go down. So that's about 11. So as you go through these tasks, it will help you explore the various options. Then just get in touch with me if you're having issues. But I'll still continue with the file tab and explain the options bit of it for you to understand. So I really appreciate the time and keep practicing whilst I prepare you to get the skills required for jobs and also get a skill set required to be a Microsoft Office specialist in Excel.